Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Procrastination Garage. It's Friday afternoon, around 2:30 p.m., and I'm actually just getting last week's video uploaded right now. Anyway, let's get started on next week's video. So my wife's been complaining about all the leaves here under the patio cover, and she's right. They shouldn't be here. We've got two choices. We could blow them out, which will work. We'll kind of make a mess. But I've also got a leaf sucker upper, and I haven't used it in, I don't know, several years. I think now's the time to drag it out and put it to work. Can you see how dirty and disgusting that thing is? Not only that, the bag still actually has some leaves in it from the last time I used it, which I said was a couple of years ago. What do you think, Bear? You're not going to like the noise it makes. I just dump the leaves out here in the grass. When you suck them up, they go through a little shredding process, so they're not going to blow around like they would as full-size leaves. And I need to do the front yard here, mow it in, suck up leaves. So we'll get to that. Maybe not today, but soon. Even though the whole yard needs a good mowing and sucking up of leaves and everything, this area back here by my shed, which I have to mow with a push mower, it hasn't been done in quite some time, and it's really been bothering me. So I'm going to go ahead and get the push mower out. Unfortunately, my weed whacker's pretty much died, so I can't really do any weed whacking right now, so I won't trim it up real nice, but at least I can get the bulk of it mowed. Okay, I mowed, I did a little bit of blowing, cleared stuff out, mowed again to get rid of all the grass clippings. Looks pretty nice right here in the front yard, right? Same around back. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's starting to get dark. It's time to wrap up. It's also getting cold. It must be about 45 out here. It's Sunday afternoon around 1:30. Got about 4 hours of daylight left, and what we need to do is we need to get ready for tomorrow's work party. So what that means is we need to get the log splitter, an ATV, and my little dump trailer loaded on this trailer. And then I need to make sure I've got chainsaws that are in good shape, fuel, I don't know, got to air up tires, just lots of things. So we need to get to work. First thing I'm going to do is back this trailer down a little bit because it's parked on the hill. Let's get it down here where it's a little leveler for loading it up. I suppose first I should move this wood that I split with a wood splitter the other day, get it out of the way so I can back the truck and trailer up. So I should go ahead and haul this up by the house. All right, I suck. I didn't take a lot of video when I got all loaded up. As you can see, my first attempt at putting stuff on this trailer wasn't working the way I was hoping it would. So in the end, I ended up pulling stuff on forward, and I was hoping to put that little trailer up there, a little dump trailer. I was hoping to put it back here on this trailer, and there wasn't room for it. So anyway, log splitter and ATV are loaded here, and the dump trailer is loaded on there. Everything is secured down. I was actually able to use my connector points for my wheel straps pretty much to hold everything down, so that worked out real nice. And then I've got that trailer there strapped down. 2 chainsaws, got them loaded. I sharpened the chains on both of them. I checked the Husqvarna to make sure it was running because I haven't used it in quite a while. The little Ryobi in the black bag, I know it'll start, it always does. Both chainsaws are good to go. In the back of the truck, I've got splitting maul. I've got some straps, high lift jack. I've got gloves and a hat or a cap. I need to get a heavier jacket. I need a helmet for the ATV. Some miscellaneous clothing items, but pretty much all set, ready to go. Tomorrow morning we're meeting up at the one little ranger station around 9 a.m. So I've got to get out of here about 7:45. So I think that's a wrap for Sunday. Since you're still here, do me a big favor and hit the like button and also subscribe. And if you haven't already, please tell all your friends. Thanks. It's about 8 a.m. and I just made a stop at McDonald's to get a Diet Coke. And we're headed off to the work party. Woohoo! Truck's all loaded with wood. Check out this little compound they got here. Little campsite, rope swing. This belongs to the Department of Natural Resources. Got a pretty good turnout of people helping. Just left the DNR compound and now we're headed up. I think I'm third in line. I'm the only one with a trailer. It's supposed to be getting slick up here, so it may be interesting. icy, and there's some climbs in here that make it a little interesting. I've only lost traction once though, so far so good. Well, the good news is we pretty much have made it to tree phones, which is where we're unloading the wood. So that was that's priority number one of today's work party. Now I don't know if we're going to be able to do the second part, but let's get the wood unloaded here first. Welcome to tree phones. We've got the wood in the cabin. We're regrouping. Unloaded the ATV and the log splitter. Got it one side by side, one Jeep, another ATV, and then we got one guy, Ron's going to try with his pickup. It's going to be icy. We're trying a different route than we originally thought about. So we're hoping to get up to the other location. Follow along. Airing down. UTV stuck in a snowdrift. Getting a little deep up here. Side by side, stuck again. He's breaking trail and it's getting kind of deep. Jeep's down there trying to get him out. He can pull him backwards for sure. May want to get ahead of him. See that hillside over there? We just need to get to the base of it. Still a long ways to go. Already had one casualty here. The oil hydraulic fluid intake line broke, so I dumped about half my hydraulic fluid out. I did bring more. F350's having no problem. And me, I'm being dragged. I've been dragged most of the way. Catastrophe strikes. Actually broke the ball off the ATV because there's a log there and hit it with the tire of the log splitter. And the safety chains were attached. Look what it did to them. Don't know where the ball is in the rest of the hitch. We're trying to hold it down with these chains. Got to be careful though, because this is just plastic, aluminum there, and we got a couple miles to go still. And not sure if I said, but we're turning around going back, so this part of the mission was a failure. The truck is all loaded up. I've got the ATV and log splitter back on the trailer. We're getting ready to head down. I was hoping to get some better video today, but I was also hoping we'd accomplish more than we did today. Part of today was kind of a comedy of errors. I mean, the bottom line was there was more snow up higher than we expected. We didn't know what to expect. So there was more snow. So with the group of rigs we had, even the Jeep with the big tires, he couldn't get there. So that part was a wasted trip. It was a lot of fun though. I mean, these are the guys I like to hang out with to begin with, so that was good. And hey, we tried. We had some issues we encountered. We persevered. It's all good. So now we're headed back down to the little ranger camp down there. And I've got a piece of roofing in the back of my truck that needs to be dropped off that we thought was going to fit the warming hut. Has a one panel of roof damaged last year and been removed, and we were going to replace it. Unfortunately, the piece of roofing we were given that was supposed to fit doesn't fit. No biggie, it happens. So that'll be another adventure for another day, maybe, unless somebody else does it. So let's head down the hill. It's Tuesday morning, but maybe more importantly, it's Tuesday morning in mid-November. What are we, the 20th, 21st, something like that? And what that means is we are in studded tire season. My wife and I are headed out of town on Thursday, and my daughter's going to be hanging around looking after the place, and she wants her studded tires put on. So we're going to get that done this morning about 11 o'clock when she comes over here. It's a little after 10 now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the family truckster there, the van, and go pick up the tires out of the one of the containers. Yeah, it'd be more logical to take the green truck, but I haven't unloaded from our adventures yesterday, and I'll be showing you the carnage from that in a little bit. But first up, we got to get ready for my daughter. And why am I walking down here? It's because I need a freaking jacket. It's cold, and my jacket is still in the truck from yesterday. My daughter should be here in about 10 minutes, and I've got everything pre-staged. I've got the studded tires ready to go. They're set in their relative location. Air compressor's all charged up. We're going to go ahead and top those tires off real quick, put them at 35 pounds. Got the jack here. I've got my little impact wrench, which won't tighten them or loosen them fully, so the rest I'll just do by hand, because I always torque by hand anyway, you know, elbow torque. See, there's a good gauge there. And then when I'm done with that, we're going to do a quick oil change. So I've got the tarp to put down, drain pan, bring it up on some jack stands, and then there's a new filter and there's the new oil. So we're just waiting on her to show up, and like I said, a few minutes she'll be here. And time. All right, all done. That went relatively quick and easy. Now let's get the oil change done. Done deal. Just need to check the oil level, make sure everything's okay. Oil's changed, new filter, and also put some windshield washer squirter in it because she's just like her mom. She uses way too much. There she is right up there. All right, this project's done. It's time to get the trailer unloaded from yesterday's adventure, and I'll show you where we're at. See the hitch on the back of the ATV? Well, no you don't because it's broken off. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, it's supposed to look just like that one right there. Well, I guess we'll have to replace it. Now what sucks is that it fell down in the snow and I didn't take the time and look for the broken piece, so I have to replace the ball too. And that's a shame because, I mean, that's, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 bucks. Oh well. So what happened yesterday with the log splitter? I don't know how well I detailed on the video I did take, so this may be a repeat. But anyway, look at, see the snow there? I mean, we were dragging the thing through some pretty deep snow. And what it was is there was a Jeep dragging the ATV with this log splitter hooked up to the ATV. And the reason was because the ATV couldn't get through the snow. Well, maybe by itself it could have just barely got through the snow, but not dragging a log splitter. Because these tires here, they sink right down. And so it was basically like being a snow plow, this hydraulic tank right here. So what happened was that line there you can see with the hydraulic fluid, it broke off at that fitting right there. And it did, it literally broke off. So I lost about 1 inch of that pipe. Luckily the clamp was still around at the time. And so we were able to just cut off the rest and then reclamp it. We never did get to our destination. We never even got to use a log splitter. I'm assuming it still works. I did bring at least a gallon of hydraulic fluid with me, and I don't know how much I lost out of the tank when that broke loose, but I lost a good bit. And also it was contaminated with snow and, you know, basically water because there's snow in there and the snow is going to melt out. And so we're going to need to flush this system. Unfortunately, I'm headed out of town in a couple days, and so the log splitter is not going to get touched until I get back. But I think that'll be all right. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to reclamp this, and then right here, the hose is kind of crimped a little bit because this was being pushed by the snow, and there's a wire in here, and so that wire is bent a little bit. But I can probably just with a pair of pliers just push that together, and it'll reshape that wire. So I think we'll be able to use that okay. So going forward, what we've learned a couple things is one, the thing doesn't like being dragged through the snow. It is not an off-road machine. So the question is, could I maybe find a 90-degree fitting for this? I'm not sure that it's replaceable. Can this whole pump be turned 90 degrees? I don't know. It may be what it is. And also, do I want to waste the time and fit some bigger balloon tires to the thing? I mean, how often am I going to try and drag it through an environment like that? So I don't know. It was kind of a failed attempt, but the log splitter didn't fail us. The failure was we just couldn't get to our destination. The snow was too deep. The Jeep, I think he's running 35-inch tires. He was aired way down. He was struggling through a couple of drifts, and so if he couldn't have got there, then none of the rest of us are going to get there. So it is what it is. We did get the wood delivered to the one warming hut, and that was certainly a plus. And the other project, who knows, maybe some snow will melt up there and we'll have another chance to get in there. If not, I guess it's on hold until spring. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this away, get the ATV put in the shop. And I guess I'm going to drag the yellow ATV out because it's got a hitch still, and I'll be able to back this into the garage over there. So I'll get that done. It's Wednesday afternoon, and as you can see, I still have a ton of yard cleanup left to do, and it's not going to get done. We're headed out of town tomorrow for the Thanksgiving holiday. Daughter's going to be looking after the place, but she's not going to do the yard work while I'm gone. So this will just have to wait until we get back after Thanksgiving. But I do have one project I want to do before I put this video to bed. So let me show you. Today we've got a small project on the Kawasaki Teryx. When you get a UTV street license here in Washington, a couple things it's got to have. One thing is turn signals. As you can see, Got these little turn signals that were installed. These were installed at the dealer when I bought it. I told them, I needed a turn signal kit. And then the switch for the turn signals is just nothing more than this little toggle right here, left for left. And then let's turn the key on. That's left, that's right. No self-canceling, you got to remember to shut it off. Not such a big deal, and that bright light there, you'd see that flashing, right? Well, no. This is what it looks like from the driver's seat when I'm driving. It's blocked by the steering wheel. Yeah, it's there, and if I tuck down, I can see it, but just my normal driving position, I can't see it. So my thought was, well, why don't we add some indicators right here that I can see, and why not get little arrow ones? So that's what I did. And there they are. Can you see? It's got a little arrow indicator. So what we got to figure out is well, so that's going to be tough. I got to be able to get behind that panel there. And then I got to get this one here probably just pries off. So I don't know. Let me do some work and I'll show you what I find. It's been 20 minutes or so, maybe a little more. What have I accomplished? Well, I got part of the fender off and the hood off. It uses all these little connectors here. They're a real pain in the butt. First you got to find them, then you got to get them apart. It's hard to get them apart and keep them nice, but at least they are reusable. So my whole goal was, I was trying to get, I thought, back behind here, and I thought I could reach it from here. I've started to disassemble this piece a little bit. That will give me access, but that piece goes all the way across. So I don't really want to do that. I managed to get the center piece out here. That's this piece here. And it's just clipped in, these little plastic pieces here. I broke one, this one right here. So I don't know if I'll need to replace it or not. It may say to go without. So this got me to the original switch and light, but there's only 2 wires coming into that light. And I was hoping there was 3, a ground and then a left and a right. So the question is, where is the flasher at? Because if I turn the key on and I hit the switch, see, it's blinking, but where's that signal coming from? So I'm going to go ahead and put my meter here on the switch and make sure that there's not a blinker somewhere already in the system. I don't know. I don't think there is. So then I've got to find the wires that are beyond the flasher. I really need my analog voltmeter right now, but I don't know where it is. Look at this digital one though. You can see with the light, those numbers are bouncing around quite a bit. So I suspect that I can probably hook up to these points right here. So let me get one of the bulbs and hook it up directly and see what happens. All right, I just tested it. You can see I stripped the wires. I hooked them up. The center one is the ground, and then I hooked it up to the yellow one. And sure enough, I was getting a little flashing green light there. So that simplified things. So basically, if I drill 2 holes right here through the dash, extend these wires so I can fish them in and over and come out here, and then I could bring them in and hook up right here. So I think that's the game plan. With a lot of prying, maybe too much prying, I am now able to get my hands back behind here, so when I drill the holes, because what I forgot was I got to be able to screw the little nut on the back of those. So next step is to drill the 2 holes and get those through there. Well, and get the wiring done on them. I've got 2 holes drilled. Now I'm just stepping up the size until the bulb fits. I've got 2 holes drilled. Now I'm just stepping up the size until I get it to where the little assembly will fit. I've got them both in, just trial fit. I ended up using a 7/16 drill bit, and then I had to use a round file to get them just a little bit bigger so they'd go in there. So now we got to add some wire, and then I got to get the nuts on the back. Putting the nuts on the back is going to be difficult. I can just barely get my fingers up in there, but I think I can get it done. I added a couple of pigtails. I found I had this pre-twisted wire, just red and white. Ideally, I wanted to find some yellow and green wire, but I didn't have any. So that's fine. So anyway, now we need to feed those through the hole and get these nuts slid down there and get them tightened into place with my fingers. The first light is installed. I had a hard time getting the nut on the back of it tight. There is a little bit of a rubber grommet on there, and so I was able to push that as hard as I could from the outside and spin the nut on the inside, finger tight. Hopefully it'll stay, but this thing vibrates, so it may come loose. We may have to figure out something else down the road. So I've got the red wire spliced into the green wire because that's the one it's supposed to be. And the black here is just a ground that I will finalize later. So if I touch this to the grounding point here, and you can see I've got a flashing light. So it's working. All right, I'm a dumbass. Who caught this before I did? I wasn't even thinking. I tried the wire to the center one, and when it worked, I just assumed that was the ground. But anybody with common sense realizes that the one coming in the center is a power wire, always hot, and then when you turn the switch left, it energizes one way, and if you turn it right, it energizes the other. So the way I've got a wire now, guess what happens? Yeah, we're flashing all the lights. Now, if I go to the left, it does the left. If I go to the right, it does the right. But obviously, that was such a stupid thing. God, sometimes I amaze myself how clueless I am. All I had to do was think about it for 2 seconds and it would have made sense. And as soon as I saw it doing this, it made perfect sense. All right, I'm going to have to wrap this video up. Incomplete, I'm afraid. Even though I do have both the bulbs in place, I can't do the wiring. So anyway, we're going to wrap this video up and we'll get back to this in the next video. So that's it. That's a wrap on this week's Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video was kind of cut short. Just a lot going on right now, getting ready to go out of town and couldn't focus and spend as much time doing what I want to be doing. But that's all right. We'll get back to it when I get back from my trip. Remember, the number one goal of Procrastination Garage is to keep me motivated, to get me working down here in the shop or out in the yard or up in the mountains playing. Down in the comments, tell me about the project you're working on, or better yet, tell me about the things you're procrastinating about. And also, I'm not sure what's going to happen next week as far as the video goes. I may just do a couple of car show videos instead because I'm not sure what kind of content I can generate when I'm on the road. Anyway, remember, my name's Matt. This is Procrastination Garage, and we'll see you soon.